Okay, welcome everyone. You've reached Grandma Mo, and we're covering the game two of the first round. Boy, what an exciting game this was! What a great game. You know, the couple of things I noticed in this game. Well, number one, Seattle shot better, which, if you saw my review in the last game, I was like, Seattle's only chance is to, you know, shoot better and hope that Vegas doesn't. And then both those things happened. And Seattle has very vast experience with these really close games coming down to the last shot. They lost a number of games like this, but you know, they probably have the most experience in the whole WNBA with these types of games. And they pulled it out. Great game for NECA, great game for Diggins, and putting Malanga on Asia Wilson was very key down the stretch. Asia wasn't as willing to go up against her. You know, she's tall, fast, 6'6". It's hard to try and, even for Asia Wilson, it's tough to do. But the other thing that I noticed was the thing I've been critical of Seattle on is their team defense. They don't play, or they haven't played. It's not that they can't, but they haven't played good team defense. They have great individual defenders, but if those players have gotten beat, it's a layup. Not so much tonight. They were playing swarming defense. They were playing help defense. It still happened sometimes. The Aces ended up getting an easy layup. There were a few times. But for the most part, Seattle's help defense or team defense was better in this game. So the other thing I noticed was, and basically you've had Asia Wilson pretty much the whole year. She's had some bad games. Early in the year, she had some bad games. But Jackie Young has been steady for them the whole year. She scored 5 points in the first half. She was not, and this is part of the reason they won all the games they've won, is Jackie Young has just been coming down and bam, three, bam, three. They're even saying she's shooting like 45% from three in this whole winning streak. And she was missing. So that let Seattle, that was the opening for Seattle to be in the game. And then no one else picked up the slack in the first half. So even though the Aces were winning, they weren't able to jump out to those big leads, which they've done in this winning streak. So better team defense, Jackie Young not hitting in the first half. She started to hit in the second half, but by then it was Seattle kept it close. But there was a point in the fourth quarter I thought, oh boy, here we go. Asia Wilson gets the ball, and she is such a favorable whistle. She's a great player. You don't need to help her. You don't need to help her. There were 3 fouls right in a row that were it was like touching her uniform. There was one that was a little iffy, but she missed. Out of the 5 foul shots she took, she missed 3 of them. So it didn't really hurt them. But I thought, oh no. So then fourth quarter's happening, and the Aces end up going up by, I think they went up by like 14 early in the fourth quarter, and I thought, uh-oh. But Seattle fought back. And then Erica Wheeler hit 2 really key threes. And then NECA hit one. And before you know it, it's a 6-point game. And then Seattle's defense just turned it up a notch. Team defense. And then, the Aces just weren't shooting as well. I haven't looked at their shooting percentages or anything yet, but it probably wasn't anywhere near as good as their other games. And they were bound to lose. Those winning streaks are like that for a reason. Because you can only go so far before you just have a bad shooting night or another team has a hot shooting night. But it happened tonight, and Seattle was the beneficiary. And Seattle, Skylar Diggins was shooting really well. I'm going to pull up their stats here. So, and this is where, like I'm saying, Jackie Young was not hitting in the first half. So, and then Chelsea Gray didn't hit much, and Jewel Lloyd wasn't hitting that much. And that has been the difference in the aces from the first half to the second half of the season. Those other players have stepped it up. Not so much in this game. And then you had Jackie Young she was playing well, but she wasn't shooting as well. So first quarter, aces are up 1, 22-21. Second quarter, all even, 23. Then the aces actually outscored them in the third quarter, and this is where they built that lead, 24-17. So they were up at the end of the third quarter. Excuse me, they were up 8. So the beginning of the fourth quarter, and that's where those 3 back-to-back fouls got called, and A'ja Wilson went to the line. And they were not fouls. I don't know. No, I couldn't remember if Seattle had already used their challenges, but oh my goodness, she didn't even get touched. It was like, oh, come on. And then on the other end, I forget who it was. I think it was Erica Wheeler got called for something, and it was like, oh, or no, it was Skylar Diggins, and they did challenge it, and it got overturned. But it was the same kind of thing, except it just is. It just bothers me. It's like if you're as great as everybody knows you are, you don't need help from the officials, and all the barking, like, God, just play. I hate that crabbing all the time, like you're expected to get a foul because of who you are. That bugs the crap out of me. Okay, so Seattle gets the win, 86-83, and they were down until, I don't think they took the lead till 54 seconds left, I think. Seattle out-rebounded them, 32-29. Let's see, steals were even. Seattle had 2 more blocks than the Aces. Turnovers were even, 11-10. Field goal percentage. The Aces actually outshot them, 50-45. But three-point shooting, the Aces were only 36.8, and Seattle was 50%. And then free throw percentage, that was another thing. The Aces missed quite a few free throws, 83% to 69%. So let's see. Yeah, the starters, they break it down here with starters. The Aces starters 3-point. This was probably the difference in the game. The Aces starters only shot 33% from 3, and Seattle starters shot 53%. So that was a big difference. So let's see here. So in the last game, Nneka only scored 10 points, and she was not really hugely present. I mean, she was there in the game, but she wasn't as effective. But she scored 24 points in this game. Nneka had a very good game. Very nice game. 24 points, 10 rebounds. So let's see here. Trying to get the right screen. They've changed things on the site, so you can't get. Let's see here. So Jackie Young actually turned out to be the leading scorer for the Aces. She had 25 points. She had a steal, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. She was 8 for 17, but she was only 1 for 6 from 3. So they took 19 threes, made 7 of them, so 36%. Otherwise, they shot 50%. But they made up for a lot in the second half, which they were. I wish I could see what the first half shooting statistics were, because it wasn't as good. And the Seattle Storm shot 50% from three. So they made 3 more threes than the Aces. And the other thing is that the Seattle Storm took 72 shots overall. The Aces only took 56. So there's another big difference. They also missed 9, the Aces missed 9 free throws. They went to the free throw line 29 times, and they made 20 of them. Seattle only went to the foul line 12 times and made 10. So just Seattle didn't shoot as well. They shot 45% overall from the floor. But they had 33 baskets, and the Aces only got 28. And then they got 3 more threes. But the Aces got 10 points from the foul line. 10 more points than the Storm did. So that's the breakdown of the differences in where they got their scoring. So Kirsten Bell had 7 points. She actually shot pretty well. She was only in there for 11 minutes, though. She was 100% from the floor. A'ja Wilson, 21 points. She had 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers. She got 2 blocks and a steal. She was only 6 for 11. Those 5 she missed were right in that beginning of the fourth quarter when she got those fouls called on her. So she missed 5 free throws. She actually shot better from the floor than she did from the free throw line. She was 7 for 12. So Nalissa Smith, 7 points. She had 8 rebounds. She got 3 steals. She was 3 for 5. And then Jackie Young, like I said, 25 points. She had a steal, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. She was 1 for 6 from 3, but 8 for 17 overall. So her shooting percentages are usually higher than that. And that was to me, that was the big key to this game. And then Chelsea Gray, she was 3 for 9. She was 1 for 2 from 3. She had 7 points. She got 9 assists. She got a block and 1 rebound. And then Jewel Lloyd, she shot okay. She was in the 40s, but, they just didn't. The players outside of Jackie Young and A'ja Wilson only took 12 shots. She went 11 times to the free throws, so she actually shot, 23 times, if you count the foul shots. But Jewel Lloyd was 4 for 9, 3 for 7 from 3, 13 points. Let's see. Dana Evans had 2 points. So then you go to Seattle. Seattle only played 7 players. But, it's do or die for Seattle, so you're going to just have your best players out there. So Nneka, 24 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. Nneka shot 47%. She was 9 for 19, but she was 4 for 5 from 3. So her and Erica Wheeler and Skylar, they were all really good from 3. And then Skylar Diggins, 26 points. She had 7 assists. She had 4 turnovers, but she got 2 steals and a block. She was 4 for 6 from 3 and 10 for 20 overall. So she shot 50% from the floor. She made some really key hoops down the stretch. So then you had Erica Wheeler with 11 points and Malanga with 11 points. So they had 4 players in double figures, which was good compared to, the Aces had 3. But you had 2 players in the mid-20s, which, the Aces had low 20s. But anyway, just the kind of the breakdown. I was just so happy to see a competitive game. And you love it when it comes down to like the last minute of the game. Those are so exciting. So Malanga, she was 4 for 7, 3 for 3 at the foul line. She had 10 rebounds, 3 assists. She had 2 blocks. Very nice game from Malanga. If she ever figures out to go strong to the hoop, she's still like fading away. If she decides to go strong to the hoop and just go dunk it, the whole league's in trouble. She is eventually probably going to figure that out. But, she's fast break. She was down the floor. She got that hoop to put him ahead, I think it was, that gave him the 84th point. Ooh. She was down the floor, and her legs are so long. She's down the floor, and they just sent it all the way down to her. She starts doing that, and oh boy, So Erica Wheeler, 11 points. She had 3 assists, 2 rebounds. She had 1 steal. She was 4 for 9 overall and 2 for 5. Let's see, who else? Gabby Williams, 6 points. She was 2 for 8. Gabby didn't shoot well this game. I really like Gabby Williams as a player, but boy, she's inconsistent. I mean, she's a great defender. She steals the ball a lot. But her shooting is just, she's on one night and off the other night. Because in the other game, she was the only one that did play well. But anyway, so that's it for this one. The Storm get the win 86-83, and we are going to Game 3. So we'll have our 2 games tomorrow with the New York and Phoenix has got to win this one or they're out. And, that's the detriment of losing at home. When you have the advantage, they just lost their advantage. So, and then we have the Lynx and the Valkyries. And then because these 2 teams won that played today, we're getting another day of basketball on Thursday of do or die basketball between these 2 teams, and then Indiana and Atlanta are going to battle it out. And it's do or die. This is it. So this is wonderful. A lot of people thought that these games were going to go 2-0, and when you're fighting for your life and you got, Seattle has a lot of talent. They just have been very inconsistent. And it's mostly the help defense and the shooting percentage. But when they do that well, they can compete with anybody, as shown in this game. So, anyway, well, that's it for this one. We're in for another night of hopefully really competitive games tomorrow, and we'll see you next time. Oh, and appreciate it if you can hit that subscribe button for me. Okay.